Poland versus Poland in today's Heroes of the Storm match here on Khaldor TV. We have Puszek team going up against Gamers2, and you all might know Puszek team already from the surprise victory against Team Liquid in the first round of the End of the Storm tournament. They've been actually doing pretty well, and now they're going up against Gamers2, probably the best Polish team that we have these days. These guys have been around for ages. Back in the days they were even known as Team Paper. Why? Yep, because paper beats rock. So now they go up against Puszek team, and this is of course not only a match that will determine who advances here in the GO4Heroes Monthly Final, but it's also going to show who's the best team in Poland. If you just look at the accomplishments, of course that's Gamers2, no questions asked, but Puszek team, they're aiming for the top here, and they want to take this series. For Gamers2, we have an Illidan composition on our first map, and for Puszek team, they're running the Lost Vikings here. This is going to be a pretty cool one. There's a lot on the line for both of the team, a lot of prestige, a lot of honor, so let's jump into the first map to find out which one of these two teams is going to be able to take game number 2. Alright boys, our first semi-final of the GO4Heroes Monthly Final. Yeah, there's a lot of finals in that sentence. We have, to the left, Gamers2, the Polish team. Actually, we have two Polish teams here, since Puszek team, starting to the right, is also Polish. So it's a bit of the battle of the Polish here today. Nika playing Vala. We have ADRD on Brightwing, Leo from Korea and Malfurion, Shihu on Anubarak, and Rezro on Illidan. Why exactly who is that? What? Where's Juve? What happened? To the right side of the map, it's Shadow Bro on Jaina for Puszek team, Uberim on the Lost Vikings, Shubek on Muradin, Rutsov on Rega, and Kreku on Khaldor. I'm, by the way, completely aware that Rutsov is not really how you pronounce that nickname, but it's funny as hell, so he's Rutsov. I'm still in favor, by the way, of a caster union. I am personally on the opinion that if a lot of casters can't pronounce a certain player's nickname, and we all agree, like we being the casters, all agree that the nickname is really just to troll the casters, we are allowed to just call him Bob or Kevin or something like that until he finally yields and renames himself. I am very much in favor of that. I think it's a great idea, and I think we should do that. Either way, we have now the team starting here, and as you can already see, we have up to the top lane, once again, well, not at the top lane actually, but like for Team Gamers2, we have a double heal, which is actually very interesting since Team Liquid is running basically the same setup these days. It's exactly what they love to do. A double healer together with Illidan is very, very strong to keep them alive, especially if you run two healer that have protective shield. That's amazing. That's exactly what they're trying to do. Oh, they're locked down here against Leo, but Shadow Bro was also attacked, immediately turned upon, and therefore Jaina had to move back, couldn't dish out additional damage, and yeah. We have Lost Vikings also on the side of Puszek team, and that's actually something that I currently really like. Vikings are always fun to watch. And yeah, I like Viking play. I mean, if you see Vortex play Vikings, it's like he's gently harassing them the entire time, and for some reason they always bend to his will and do exactly what he wants. When I play the Vikings, that looks very different, I can tell you that much. Like, these little square of the swallows don't do anything that I want. Oh, nice kill here. Wow, what? Shiku actually gets away? Wow, somebody is salty. That Dwarf is angry. And the second kill against Jaina. Really well done. Once again, Leo, they're jumping in. Illidan! And they go in for the kill. Really well done. Alright, that was a cool one. So apparently the sub for the team, Rezro, is taking it. I'm not quite sure if that's really a sub or if that's maybe like a second account that he has, but I did not realize that we were not playing with Yubi here today. So I'm gonna ask in the break what's going on with this. Once again, keep in mind we have a double ban now, by the way. It's not only that single ban anymore that we had in the Heroes of the Storm tournaments of the past. It's double bans now, already preparing for Road to BlizzCon, which is basically the big tournament series that was announced, the Heroes of the Storm World Championship that will end in a finale at BlizzCon, so that's going to be pretty sick. Snowstorm taken on the side of Jane. I really like it if you are running that talent. This makes it a bit easier to hit that, and of course you get that second wave in way more often. We already talked a bit about this map in particular, where you can run promote, since it's very strong for Brightwing in general, and Brightwing is already trying to do that at the bot lane. Kill against Olaf, apparently in the middle there. Oh, look at Olaf. What were you doing there, Olaf? You had no business over there. Did you get lost? I guess you are Lost Viking after all. Shubek and Kreku are also doing their best to put some pressure on that team, but so far I have to admit that the Polish team that is really calling the shots here is the one in blue starting to the left side. It's Gamers2, They're doing very well with this. Down to the bot lane, Uberim is still rocking those Vikings. They're going to rotate up to the top lane, of course. The second temple phase is going to start at some point, and with that happening, you will see down to the bot lane the fight for the temple, and then the Vikings can start soaking the rest of the lanes, and they definitely have to do that, because now we have an entire level for Gamers2. They're really ahead here, level 7 already, and that puts Gust of Healing, Enduring Growth into their hands. We're having them also with a bit of a different build on an Uberak. It's more old school what they're running here. The Beetle's only on 4, so that you get the automatically spawning Beetle every 8 seconds, but still the bed of barbs and also the extended spikes here. Nice kill against Belok. Well, Uberim getting a bit too aggressive in that case, going into tower range. I'm not 100% what that does, but, well, it kind of reveals 2 of those camps. What, he got the kill against Olaf as well? AD-RD, look at that murderous little Brightwing. I mean, we all know that Brightwing can be annoying, but that is putting it over the top. Going in and killing 2 of the Vikings out. Wow, Brightwing is a killer. That's a little bit crazy. That's like watching SUV kills in StarCraft 2, or drone kills. That's basically the exact same thing. Brightwing now starting to rotate up to the top lane. The 7 talents are now ready also for Puszek team. And currently we're having them, in this case, yeah, we're having them actually like with a Piercing Bolt taken, Earth Shield, Fission Bomb, Jump and Frostbitten. More standard talent here. So right now, bot lane again. Oh, Brightwing was taken out. Alright, apparently the Vikings were so angry that they called their big brothers, and Rutsuf and Kreku were happy to oblige and get that kill in. But yeah, jokes aside, I mean, right now we have Gamers2 really running a great game here. So they are ahead in experience. We have Puszek team trying to counteract that now with a few Siege Giants that they get. Brightwing is back to business and is trying to rock the top lane again. We're going to see Bribe coming into play here very soon. And of course, once again, Uberim here with Olaf trying to soak the experience. But both of the towers, well, one tower is already down. The other tower is out of ammunition and by now also destroyed. So Brightwing with a big pushing potential at the top lane here. Whereas we have level 10 now ready for Gamers2, and therefore Puszek team can't even contest the bot. They don't even try to go for the temple. They're just basically saying, hey, we have to soak either way. We go into the mid lane with Rega, and we try to maybe get a kill against Brightwing, which in this case it doesn't look like they will get it. Not even with Muradin moving in and hitting a Storm Bolt, they will be able to get enough damage in to take Brightwing out. At the bot lane, it is a fort that they're going for, so they go straight for this one. And I actually have to admit that right now we have a very dominant performance by Gamers2. 2 level ahead on Sky Temple. Yeah, that's a great spot right. Oh, but here comes also heroic ability. Are they gonna take some? Nah, they don't get enough damage in with Vala to drop Kreku or Shadow Bro. But at least they forced them back. And Brightwing is still doing his thing. Brightwing is still at the top lane. I mean, look at the ammunition on the tower. Gone. The ammunition on the fort nearly gone. Right, in the mid lane, there's even more pressure. Gamers2 is currently showing who's top dog in Poland. They are going for it, and well, right now, Puszek team is basically, they're being taught a lesson here. Don't take them too lightly. Don't take Gamers2 too lightly. And I guess they didn't do that in the first place, but right now they are being demonstrated why this team is one of the best teams in Europe. And yeah, this is only the first game in the best of 3 series, of course. The game is not over yet either. If you have Khaldor on your team, which Puszek team does, you have a big power spike on 16, and that's one of the things that they are going to hope for now. But Vikings are still everywhere in the map, and that is something that they have to exploit. They need to make sure that the Vikings are going to be able to just soak those lanes a bit more, that they close the gap in experience slowly and steadily, and then are able to win one of those team fights on even talents to get ahead of Gamers2 if they want to stand a chance there. It's definitely not going to be an easy feat, especially when you look at experience in general. It's not only about that lead that we're seeing for Gamers2. The big deal here is really that we have level 13 soon against level 10 and the level 13 talent. It's one of the things that it's still very, very difficult for a lot of new players from League of Legends and Dota 2 to understand that engaging, first of all, like engaging into a 4 versus 5 fight in any game that you play is something you should never do. But even more important is that you do not fight on when your opponent has a talent advantage, unless you're forced into that battle. But normally you should try and just soak experience until you have the same talent, then you can fight. Stat advantages in this game are of course important, they give you an edge, but it's much more important that you are playing on the same talent with an opponent. If you have a talent lead, you always try to go into a battle just because you know you have an edge on your opponent, and this is what we're seeing now with Frost Shot taken on the multi-shot build that we're having on Vala. We're seeing for Illidan, of of course, Sixth Sense, which in this case gives them also the ability for additional invasion. They have Life Seed and Spell Shield. And Life Seed is already indicating that Leo is not afraid of dying at all. There's no hard engage. The only thing that he has to be cautious about is that we are having Khaldor here. Nice move with a phase shift on Brightwing. Knows, of course, that Jaina has no means of locking him down. In this case, there's no stun, and therefore Brightwing just phase shifts out. Very well done. But yeah, Life Seed is going to boost the healing powers from Leo a lot. And the important part for him really is just to realize they do not have any hero that could jump me. They don't have Tyrael, they don't have a Nunubarak. There's no jumping potential. There's also no Zeratul in the backline that could put pressure on me. So I don't need an ice block. I can go for the full heal build, and that is very, very good for Gamers2. They're trying to jump in again. Here comes the Phoenix. They are just moving through it. They don't really care. Water Elemental already used, but the kill against Jaina. Ancestral healing a bit too late. And now also Rhaegar rooted and isolated. They are going for Muradin next, but he is escaping. He's just a bit of a tanky bastard, isn't he? And he jumps away in the last second. Up at the top lane, they are trying to go for the Viking now. And so far, the Marine has been doing a decent job soaking. Was able to, well, get some experience up there. The problem is that it doesn't really help when the rest of the team dies at the bot lane. 6.75 kills against 1. And this is, of course, another temple that they take. They take both temples at this point. And they nearly have level 16. Gamers2 with a great game here. A really strong game that we are seeing from them. Looking at the experience, by the way, give you a bit of an idea. The Vikings currently with roughly double the experience of Khaldor's. So they have been soaking quite a lot in this game. But just look at the experience that we're seeing on Viking. Even more than the Viking player. Oh, that's of course also because of the kills. Illidan jumping in, trying to go for it here. 16 versus 13 talent right now. And they take down the Vikings. Oh my god. The Vikings are suddenly exposed. We also have Rhaegar down. They go straight for Malfurion. Muradin is already dead. And they kill against Khaldor now as well. Malfurion healing them out the entire time in the backline, doing a great job with that, using his root to lock them down too. 4 heroes killed, and Gamers2 is just moving into the mid lane now to destroy the first heat of the game on level 4 or level 16. They currently have a triple blood for blood that they've been using the last fight. Brightwing is still thinking about what to go for in level 16, now that we're having also the tenacious roots taken. That doesn't even go for a hardened focus, which he could have done, because that is just an amazing talent, but here it's more about that lockdown and Shrederize on 16. The standard talent on Brightwing will put additional damage on polymorph targets, so even more danger now for pushing teams heroes. And they are of course trying to run flamethrower here to allow Kreku or his Khaldor to just poke from a safe distance, but 2 of the keeps are already down, and we could see this game end before 16 even hits for pushing team. Gamers2 with a great performance here thus far, and well, if they win this best of 3 series, they will of course end up in the final, going up against either Team Arthurs or Alternate Fancy, which is going to be our second semi-final today that we're going to cast later on. So far, pushing team is of course only playing the first game against them here. But so far, it doesn't look good for them. 11.25 kills against 1 kill, and a 3 level advantage for Gamers2. They have been playing a phenomenal game thus far. Just making no big mistakes, nothing that pushing team could really exploit there, and they are showcasing that there is still a bit of a difference in skill between these 2 Polish teams. Rezor on his Illidan is jumping in now, 24,000 damage on Vala, and if you're just looking at the damage that we're seeing for Khaldor, he's extremely low right now. And that's just because in those fights they didn't really get the opportunity to fight long drawn out fights. They were losing heroes way too soon and therefore had to move back. It's a very little opportunity for Khaldor to actually do damage even. And well, with that in mind, we're having a 4 level lead. And you cannot fight with that. It's not only their talent, but how are you going to fight this? Yeah, here he's trying to move away. 1 stun, is that all that they have? Yeah, it's all that they got, and they don't need more than that. Brightwing, where's Brightwing? Of course, up at the top lane again, doing Brightwing things, looking for friends, killing stuff. At the bottom lane, we are still seeing Illidan taking the camp here. They could even go for boss if they wanted to. I'm actually a bit surprised that they didn't even try to go for boss just yet, because let's face it, with a 3 level lead and a stat advantage, why not? I guess you don't really want to do anything about it as long as you have Brightwing pushing at the top lane, getting experience. He will force out a reaction, and then you can go for boss, and that's exactly what they're doing. Brightwing has pushed this lane hard with his promote, with the camp that they took earlier. So He's pushing that lane in, and they have to rotate over. In this case now, it's an immediate reaction that we're seeing on the side of Gamers2. They're going for boss, and they are probably gonna get it. Here comes the move. It's a 4-level lead. The stat advantage alone is crazy. They get boss, and now they can go for the fight. And they initiate immediately. And Uberrock is already moving in. We have Strafe being used in the backline, but immediately is stunned out by the gravity lapse. Nice ancestral healing, keeping Khaldor alive, but Illidan is already on the job and taking down Khaldor. The mage is dead. Hooray! And down go Rhaegar and Muradin, as well as suddenly Jaina is the next target. Silence, Glitter Eyes, and oh my god, the Beetle taking her on the horns. Down goes the entire team. It's a full wipe. Only Eric surviving, and not for long, since Illidan really wants him. Takes him down as well. The GG already called. Good job by Gamers2. Very impressive. They have the boss pushing now the bot lane, and of course that's not all. They take this easy peasy on Sky Temple against Puszek team. Game number 1, and therefore the 1-0 lead in the best of 3 series for Gamers2. The first game ends in favor of Gamers2. A 1-0 lead in the best of 3 series here. Very well played by them, and they really demolished their opponents there. They gained a lot of momentum early on and were able to take this series without really getting under too much pressure. So game number 2 is now taking place on Tomb of the Spider Queen, and Gamers2 is already aiming for one of these push compositions that we talked about. On Tomb of the Spider Queen, Brightwing Tacita is very popular for the double promote, and Gamers2 is trying to run that currently, also with an Arthas at the front line. So a very interesting lineup that they're having here, and they try of course to end this series once again early. They want to have a 2-0 victory against Puszek team to advance to the next round of the tournament. But Puszek team is trying something here with Sylvanas. They're also running in this case again an Uberrock. So it's a pretty good lineup for a map where it's very important to take down not only the web weavers of your opponent, but also push those lanes in early. And well, we're going to find out if they can come back into the series, or if game number 2 is just going to grant another victory to Gamers2, and therefore the overall victory in the best of 3 series. Tomb of the Spider Queen coming up next. Alrighty boys, and girls of course, we have our second game in the semi-final of the Go4Heroes Monthly Final. Gamers2, well, they kind of destroyed Puszek team on the first map, so Puszek team needs to come back into the series with a win on Tomb of the Spider Queen, or they will be out of the tournament. And, well, they at least made it into the semi-finals, which is also pretty neat. But right now, of course, they have to win this one if they want to force out a third map. To the left side of the map, we have Kelthas, played by Nika. It is Leo from Korea on Uther. Shehu on Arthas. ADRD on Brightwing, and Rezro, the substitute player today for Juve on Tacita. So Rutsov on Rhaegar to the right side. We have Shadowbro on Tyrande, Chubek on Nubarak, Uberim on Sylvanas, and Kreku on Jaina. And interestingly enough, that last pick on Jaina was actually something that surprised me a bit, because I didn't really feel like it was a great pick, since it doesn't combo with a lot of the heroes that they have on the team. I don't really feel like they have the synergy here. Personally, I expected to see some kind of initiator together with an Uberrock being picked for them. Maybe a Tyrael, maybe a Kerrigan, and if they really feel they don't have enough damage just yet and need someone else who can really supply some also wave clear, that Vala would have been a better option. All of these choices would have also given them a quadruple blood for blood on level 16, which is always a nice power spike that you have there, even if you're running against an Uther, which is of course a great counterplay against that. But even with Uther in there, it's something that you can do. Oh, Chubik on and Uberrock just barely moving away there. Apparently Shadowbro and Tyrande was helping him out with a stun there too. I'm really curious to see how Tyrande is going to fit into this composition. So this is one of those games that really excites me a bit, since I want to see what they can do with her here. At the bot lane, we're having already Brightwing, and of course this is once again one of those maps where pushing is everything, and having that promote a level 4 on 2 of the heroes is always amazing. So we're talking once again Tacita and Brightwing for promote, and counterplay by Nubarak with his Beetles, which is always very good for, like, he has a very strong laning presence. And we of course see also Jaina, good wave clear, and at the same time down to the bot lane where Brightwing seems to be the target of Pushing team, we have Sylvanas, which is great for this one too. Yeah, well, getting away there, just barely. Could see that attempt to create some synergy between a Nubarak and Tyrande. It's basically a stun into stun that you have. The problem with it is that if a Nubarak misses, like, the problem is this. The Burrow Strike has a very, very, very short stun that you have there. It's a mini stun. If you hit your Impale afterwards as well, then you can create some kind of stun that Tyrande can work off on. but it's very difficult to do that. And I don't really think that a Nubarak is a great hero to synergize with Tyrande in this case. But if you have a Mirrodin, or back in the days Diablo, you get a bit more out of that. Talking about like stun and CC control, we have already a kill against Rhaegar at the top line. Like, he fell victim to this roaming squad. 4 heroes currently rotating between the mid and the top lane. And yeah, looks actually pretty nice so far. I mean, right now we're having at the bottom line again ADRD doing his thing, and well, let's see what exactly they can do in this case against especially the promotes, of course, once they come into play, because so far we really haven't seen that yet. There they are, 2 promotes up to the top probably as well. Where's that dirty Tassadar? Those Protoss heroes always the same. A StarCraft hero wouldn't promote. And as I say it, I get reminded that Zagara is also a hero. So she has her own version of that, not on the same level, but yeah, Zagara also a great pushing hero, the queen. Well, either way, like, we have now Puszek team down in the best of 3 series. They're running pretty normal builds on their own heroes here. Rhaegar is going for Spirit Walker's Grace on level 1, which is oftentimes used these days since the healing totem is not that popular anymore. We have actually a couple of really interesting builds on Rhaegar these days, where people are experimenting with a few different talents. Also on level 4, by the way, that doesn't only affect level 1. There are a couple of things where people are now a bit more, just a bit more flexible when it comes to Rhaegar. Also, Frozen Wastes has been taken on the side of Arthur's, which personally surprises me a bit. Normally when we're seeing Arthur's being played these days, it's Destruction that you get on level 4, where your Frostmourne Hungers gets 150% extra damage. So that's always pretty cool, since you can with your passive or with your trade and also get even more damage, and it makes... Yeah, Arthur's actually a very strong bruiser there. But it's the reduction on mana cost that we are having skilled here for Shiku, who's playing, of course, once again the tank line for them. Well, at the same time now, as you can see, we have already Chupek, we have Uberim, and the rest of the team starting to move into position here once more. It's really on the Puszek team now to make a couple of moves here and try to win this game out, and it's not going to be easy for them at all, I feel. So far, it's very even in experience. If you look at the gems turn in, though, you can really tell that Gamers2 is already far ahead. It's 45 against 6 turn in. Very, very well done here, and this is pretty cool. So they're already rushing in again. Shihu is trying to support Nika here, who could go for a turn-in, doesn't do that just yet. They're just 5 gems away from turning in again. By the way, Tyrande is not going for a build that would allow her to just interrupt these turn-ins with Pierce, and I think it's a smart decision to go for Protective Shield on level 4 here. But there is the turn-in. Oh, nice! They're trying to kill Rhaegar again! Good stun! Gravity Lapse, and then the follow-up with Shihu slowing him down and using Howling Blast is taking Rhaegar out. So that's kill number 2 for the Polish team to the left side. Both of the teams obviously from Poland. And there is also, in this case now, the first Web Weaver Ascension. We have AD Ardia at the bot lane, still soaking the lane here, still making sure that he gets even more gems. He's at 18 now, they still have 32. And it's looking really good for them. Slightly inexperienced, but of course if you have Promote and then you have the first Web Weavers, you can really just go on one lane, promote with all 4 promotes, move to one of the others, let that push in, and that is actually very nice. That's a lot of potential pressure that you have on several lanes, which makes it very difficult for your opponent to react to that. Things that work against that is, by the way, Barbed Shot on level 1 with the Wind was taken here on Sylvanas, which is still the standard talent, but a lot of teams have started to go for Barbed Shot instead, which does 3 times the damage against minions and the mercenaries. And on this map in particular, it's a great talent to take if you want to push lanes, especially when you take Unstable Poison on level 7, and that's something that you could really need. Hard Camp, Loser Camp is moving in. Having the Web Weavers already taken down. Oh, nice stun lock against Arthas here, and they get their first kill. Puszek team trying to ride the momentum wave. There was no heal, therefore no protective shield. Right wing not jumping in time. Now Chubek from the bot lane is moving in now too. Oh, nearly the stun against Tassadar, but he is using his dimensional shift to get away. Well played here by Rezro. Nice escape from him. Oh, can they? No, they can't take. No, they can't take. They can't take the beat down, not just yet. Bot lane, very good pressure that they established here. Leo from Korea is moving in now for a quick attempt to stun, but yeah, of course, taking that tower down would be priority, as now the second healer is moving in again. And in case that you didn't pick up on that, a double healer comp again in this case for Team Gamers2. Not with an Illidan this time. They're running this a bit different, but it's still double healer. Of course, it's more about the pushing presence than anything else, thanks to the double promote. But still, double healer is going to make it very difficult for pushing team to get the damage in to take them out here. So we have Ibrahim, Chubek, and Shadowpro currently going straight for the camp. The right side, already a bit of damage with Nika and the Phoenix over there. Phoenix is still one of the talents that has the one of the heroic abilities that has the shortest cooldown in the game with 40 seconds. It's pretty insane. I mean, it's nearly up already again once that you cast it and it's gone. I guess only Blink Heal is shorter. I'm actually thinking about it. Blink Heal and Force Wall are, I think, the two talents that are shorter. Possession as well. Yeah, and now thinking about additional ones that have a shorter cooldown than Phoenix. To be honest with you, I can't come up with any. Most of those are also pretty useless, so yeah. But yeah, there are probably a couple of others, but in this case, yeah, this is... Cinderegosa is being skilled on Arthas. Yeah, playing a bit of a Toshiro here. Here Maru is going to come into the game. We're going to go Bleach style today on the side of Arthas. And yeah, Toshiro Hitsugaya is going to try and make an appearance here later on. I mean, he's a bit taller, I want to say, Shihu that is, on his Arthas. But let's see what he can do when he summons the Ice Dragon. And that would be an opportunity, but the kill against Kel'Thas. Pushek team is getting their kills in. And they are still on an even level with their opponents, and now they have the Red Weavers in. This is not going to be as easy for Gamers2 as they might thought it would be after they dominated the game on Sky Temple. Right now, Pushek team is actually the one gaining a bit of momentum there. At the bot lane, ADRD is trying to use whatever he can to keep the wave at bay. But we have a 3-lane split for Pushek team. They're really trying to get the most out of this. And if they just take down the wall in every single lane, that would give them probably even a lead in experience. They are already closing the gap, getting even slightly ahead. And just think about it, if you take down your opponent's wells and the walls, you take a lot of, like, you put a lot of pressure on them and you take a lot of pressure away from you, since it's going to be very difficult for your opponent to just like refresh on mana and hit points and get that done. We currently have also, yep, there we are, Shiku, Reso, and Leo from Korea, 3 in the mid lane, and the bot lane we have a double defense with Nika and ADRD. Of course, Flame Strike is going to be the tool of choice here, the weapon of choice for him. But yeah, a slight lead now for Pushek team. And they're going in with another stun. Look at that, stun after stun against Shiku. Not really working out the way that they wanted to, but it's also, of course, one of those moves where Shiku just basically said, I don't need my army of the dead, I have 2 healers, it's their job to keep me alive, and I have a Tassadar for a shield. If they can't keep me alive, nobody can. Nice turn in there. We had an attempt to interrupt that by Nuburak. Shubek was using his spikes, but yeah, that didn't work because he was just a bit too short on that. And it looks like Shiku is moving down to the bot lane to steal that Siege Giant camp before they disappear. So that's also pretty awesome. And yeah, let's see. This is going to be a very strong push that they have. Siege Giants, Web Weavers, and Promote. Oh, yes, that is hurt. That is a lot of pain. And guess who's at the top lane, who's knocking? It is Brightwing and Tassadar. Not using the promotes yet, though. Where is Tassadar going to put his promotes in? At the top lane, they don't have them yet. Bot push is extremely strong. There's the initiation, though. They're trying to move in from the back. Shadow Bro is there. Good silence. Hitting 2. Going straight for it. Nika. Oh, Divine Shield saving his ass. And we're going straight for the battle now as Shivu is once again a bit exposed. They need to heal him. They need to heal him fast, and they're trying to. They actually pull it off. Sylvanas is about to die, but gets hit in the last second. Was already poisoned. Would have died eventually. Top lane is pushing pretty hard. No promotes over there left, but they are still able to push that in very well with a big wave that they've been using. The fort over here is still alive, and we're having them moving into the mid lane now, where the fort also spots only half of the HP, so they're trying to get this one now as well. We have Leo and ADRD, they all rotate, level 13 now for both of the teams. As you can see, Overflowing Light is there. We have Healing Surge taken on 13 for Rhaegar for the additional heals. There's also now Evasive Fire taken for Sylvanas, and it is actually Icy Vein, so apparently we are going to see Jaina trying to get their cooldown reduction in here and get those spells out a bit faster, especially, of course, that Blizzard. And Nuburak is most likely going to go into Spell Shield. Another choice would be a Burning Rage, but Spell Shield against the heroes that we are seeing for the opponent's team would be the standard option. Both of the teams trying to go for camps right now, and in this case we have Relentless taken on Arthas. He's actually one of the few tanks that still has Relentless, which makes him very interesting against comps that run a lot of stun. And we see this Distortion team now on the side of Tassadar, just to have that extra slow again. normally would be prescience. If you want to go for prescience and dimensional warp on 13-16, you are a lot safer. You will survive most of the battles, even if you're being focused. Right now, it's more about having the control during the fights, which is also why we're seeing Shrink Ray taken on Uther, so that they can use that in these battles to put it on a Nubarak, for example, when he tries to disrupt the front line or the back line. We're having also Flamethrower. The power spike at 16 will allow him to use Ignite, which is going to be extremely important. And, well, there we go. Pushing team trying to use those Web Weavers again. They got another set here, and they are just... Oh, there comes Syndragosa! Moving in with that! Shiku and the fort needs to be careful. Nice heal against Chubek. And Nubarak is alive. Leo gets shielded, gets stunned, and he has to Divine Shield himself. Oh, with a blink heal, at least Brightwing can jump away right now. And this is a fun game here. I mean, this is still 15 versus... let's call that 15. 15 versus 15, and the heals, I mean, we have currently 40,000 heals in total, 46,000 heals in total on the side of Gamers2, then 30,000 on the side of Pushek team, but in regards to damage, that is really where we're currently seeing Pushek team shine, with 23,000, above 20,000 for 2 heroes. Pretty similar still to, how did Brightwing get this much hero damage? What? What did I miss? Excuse me? Does promote damage count against heroes? That can't be it, right? Brightwing has 20,000 hero damage. What on earth is going on? He has about the same hero damage as Kel'Thas. Okay, I'm a little bit confused right now, I have to admit. There's something counting into those numbers that I'm apparently not aware of at this point, because that is a first. Like, we have a killer Brightwing down here. AD I mean, like, he is serious about these things. That guy is a beast. 20,000 damage on Brightwing, 14 minutes in. Not bad, my friend. Not bad. Well, let's see how that's going to work out in the battle up at the top lane. Who wants, like, who needs Kel'Thas? Who needs Arthas? Call Brightwing. She's gonna do the deed. Up here we already have Leo now moving in. Once again the Flames try to get the wave clear. 16 versus 16 by the way. And there we have it. We have a double blood for blood. Web Weavers again for the red team. Pushing team with so much control right now. I mean, really a ton of control that we're currently seeing from Pushing team. The entire center of the map belongs to them, and they are using it to turn in one Web Weaver set after another. Is just being descending just because of that. 60 gemstone for their opponent. Phoenix is already being used here. And, well, there we go. We have another attempt to turn those Web Weavers around, and Phoenix is helping a lot with that. Of course, it's also second strike after we have static charge on 16 for Tacita. Using that already. Stone skin taken on Arthas. That makes him a lot more tanky, and with Benediction on 16 for Uther, it's going to be a bit easier for Uther to just heal out all that damage that comes in from heroes like Sylvanas, Jaina, and Nubarak, and of course also Tyrande, which hasn't done too badly in this game as well. I think Tyrande is working out better than I expected. I still think that a different hero would have given them even more control in these fights. But let's see how they're gonna run these next battles, because Pushing team is ahead. Pushing team is starting to get ahead in this, but now we have the 16 spike, and that's where Ignite of course is also. So there we go, once again. Shiku is right there, moving in again. And yep, there we are. So Shiku is blocking the rest of his team away. We have, of course, that poking potential now for Nika with a Flamethrower and Ignite. That's really where he should take the lead in damage for his team soon enough. I guess he had it earlier already, but yeah, Brightwing with 20,000, that's still pretty impressive. 33,000 hero damage already on the side of Kel'Thas. Kel'Thas is really the hero that they have to shield now. They have to make sure that Kel'Thas is not dying, because that's the most damage that they will get out in those fights. That Flame Strike with Ignite. We're having currently 26,000 on the side of Sylvanas. Already helping. Yeah, I think that helped actually. Up to the top lane. Uh-oh, AD already has no support here. Stunned once, stunned twice, and goodbye, Brightwing. That's a lot of gems that they just lost. This time AD already was asking for trouble, and he got it. Oh wow, they actually got them. They got them, right? Yeah, they did. They actually got them. Very well done here by Rezro. That was a close call. Just half a second later, I suppose, and they would have been gone. They get the turn in. The problem is, they get the boss. this game is starting to look a bit dire for Gamers2. I mean, getting right now a turn-in is great, of course, because you can push against the boss. The boss shouldn't really do too much. Go through the wall, but not drop the keep. That's probably what we're going to see here. Unless there's going to be another kill in the mid lane right now, then it's a completely different story. And oh my god, they actually get it. They get the kill, and that is bad news. The tank is out, and this is them moving into the mid lane. Puszek team is dropping the wall. This is two Polish teams going up against each other, and right now Puszek team is going to try to make sure that everybody knows, hey, we are the better Polish team right now. Gamers2, they had their time up at the top, but it is over. It's us now who are going to take that place. It would be a pretty bold statement. I'm not quite sure if they're really going to drop that, but so far their actions definitely spoke a little bit louder than words, because they are putting an entire level between them and Gamers2. 19 versus 18. Of course, the boss finally down, and it's 3 kills against 5, so it's not too big of a deal just yet. I guess if they are fast, they could maybe even drop that fort at the top lane. They should be able to get that. I mean, this is so low. But they're not even moving in yet, because they had Arthur's not with them just yet, so they needed to wait for that too. Yeah, soon we're going to see level 20. And level 20, when we have the final abilities in the game, that's of course where things are going to become interesting once more. The one thing that I want to highlight again, I mean, we've been talking a lot about pushing power, we've been talking a lot about promotes, we've been talking a lot about how you can really just try to set yourself up in a way that your opponent has to defend several lanes at the same time. How Sylvanas is strong against that, how Jaina is strong against that because of the wave play that they both have. If you drop a keep of your opponent, in the case of Gamers2, you have promote available on catapults. Catapults are amazing with promote. They are nearly unkillable, and they do so much damage. A catapult that attacks a core without shield will with every single shot drop 5% of the core, which is crazy. On lane alone, they are amazing. So if that's something that they can do, they will be in a great spot. Talking about doing things, yeah, ADRD already using his sprint here. Brightwing is moving away very fast, because, well, that would have been an amazing kill for them again. Level 20 talents are ready for Puszek team, so now they have a timing window that they can use. We're seeing the Deafening Blast used, Winter Mute actually, as the talent on Jaina. Look at these boys. They're not afraid of anything. Like, they say, like, yeah, you have no jumps. What are you gonna do? Run up to us with Arthur's, with a Howling Blast? Yeah, try that. They don't need any kind of like sustain here in the sense of, well, a blink, for example, to blink away. They just go for storm shields. Storm shields, even Hive Master taken. Hive Master over Hardened Shield. That's how afraid Anubarak is right now of burst damage. He's just saying like, well, you have a lot of heal, but when it comes to damage, you're a little bit on the low end. The only thing that you have is Kel'Thas. And yeah, the guy is scary, but as long as we can get that in... I mean, we talked about Destruction on level 4, right? He doesn't have Destruction, so Arthas is not really getting the damage out that he usually would get. So we have Arthas currently at 10,000 damage. That's not a whole lot. Tassadar, with his Twilight Arcane on level 20, could probably put a fair amount of damage out next to Kel'Thas. Currently has 47,000, which is the top damage in the game, but still, like, getting a kill with that alone is pretty tricky. So right now, damage is definitely in short supply for Gamers2, and they will need more of that. And they are probably going to get that once they hit 20. That Twilight Arcane is very strong, but they are the ones who will have to choose if to Bowl of the Storms, I suppose. I don't see Kel'Thas taking anything else, to be honest. They're trying to lock Anubarak down. Here comes the Deafening Blast. Silence on only one hero. Really well done. And apparently cleansed out. So that was already nice. So that ultimate didn't really do anything. And well, there it should be any second now. Yep, there's level 20. Okay, let's see. Blink on Kel'Thas. Okay, that was expected. Hardened Shield on Arthas. Doesn't surprise me either. Redemption on Usa. Duh. Twilight Arcane, of course. Brightwing has options. Brightwing has a couple of options and goes not for a potential rewind, just says, okay, I don't need the double polymorph here. What I need is a Storm Shield. We need sustain. Okay, more sustain, double heal. And still, if they can work around the map, they might be able to do this. This is game number 2. Game number 2 in the semifinals. It's the first semifinal. And they're in the mid lane again. Up to the top lane with Brightwing. There's no more talents to them. It's all about the talents that we have right now. That is all that we need at this point. So let's see how exactly it's going to work out if they can turn in again. They have the gems. They just need to turn them in, and that's not going to be easy. Posturing around over here, buying some time for the rest of the team, and that's a lot of gems already turned in. 35. 80 RD, still has 15 though. 80 RD with 15 here. And can Kelthas zone? Kelthas is going to try and zone, as will Tassadar. They have the zoning capabilities here. And turn-in is not completed, but they have most of them in. Here comes the stun again. Good cleanse. Very good cleanse, allowing them to move away here. Phoenix already used. They're trying to follow that up, going for the Howling Blast. And Syndragosa is already there, slowing everybody down. Gamers2 is on the pursuit again, jumping in. Oh, what a nice silence. The Deafening Blast silencing, of course, for like 5 seconds here. Oh, the kill against Uther. He's going to be back thanks to Redemption. They get the kill against the Nubarak. Finally, the tank is out of the way, and with the mutant's already gone, that water elemental is just a puddle of mud on the ground, and now they are trying to move straight for the keep, maybe. Again, if they get a keep, that would be so good for them, but they decide to just wait it out, go for the turn-in, and try to turn in the next set, or like get the next set of Web Weavers descending. And that is really something that they can use to maybe take down one of the keeps. If they get a keep, promoted catapults will really be amazing for them. Up here to the top, the boss is not something that they can deal with right now. Not now. It's not there just yet. And well, here come the Web Weavers. On the way already. Always the owl, always the owl. Checking what's going on, looking at the damage again, just to have a bit of an idea. Look at the healing, by the way. Tyrande now with the overflowing light is on 32,000 heal. She's currently out healing Uther. It's of course a bit of a different scenario here as well, because you have to keep in mind that, well, there's 2 healers contesting for that. So 32,000 and 46,000, that's in total still more heal than we're seeing for the opponent's team. Tyrande, in that regard, is still working out for the team here for sure. Damage 38,000, 37,000, 35,000 on the side of Puszek team. 68,000 alone on the other hand for Kelthas. Really strong. And Twilight Archon has the opportunity to deliver even more on the side of Tassadar. And they are going in. They want the keep now. And look at those Web Weavers. That could potentially be a keep. If they get a bit more damage in with that Flame Strike, they're doing really well here. If they drop the keep, that would be amazing for them. At the bot lane, we're having Sylvanas single-handedly trying to take down this one. Unstable Poison is going to help with that. And keep falls. Promoted catapults are going to be a thing. This is a really big deal right now. This is a big, big deal for Gamers2. And if they get a second one, no, they won't. They won't, at least not just now. Death Coil being used for Arthas there already. They're trying to push this back again. They can actually rotate back. They don't really have to go for this just yet. But the mid lane is now going to spawn the catapults. That's where they can put some additional pressure onto Puszek team. We're 24 minutes into the game, and they're already moving away here. They never want to face check one of those bushes. Where is that stun, though? Yeah, that's a battle that they don't really want to fight today. Again, the cleanse. Shiku is moving away. Oh, well, the cleanse actually has the Relentless alone order to deliver this one. Relentless really put it. Whoa! That Deafening Blast was great! Hitting 4, and Arthas gets blown to pieces. Oh my god, another good stun, and they're trying to go for Tassadar. Brightwing, actually. Oh, that survived the last second. Blink kill being used once. They're trying to go for it twice. They disengage, but the kill against Uther. Tassadar in trouble. Jaina polymorph. She tries to get the slow in, and there it is. Another blink heal. Oh, there comes the damage. But I think they're all gonna die, aren't they? I mean, right now, ADRD, they're keeping themselves alive for as long as they can, buying a little bit of time for the rest of the team to be resurrected. Again, Nika kills Tyrande. Wow, he gets that off. Blinks away a bit too late. And now Kelthas is dead as well. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? It's gonna be one keep, right? Is it gonna be more? We have Arthas. Arthas gonna be back in 15, in 10. The next one is gonna be Uther. 2 heroes that don't really have a lot of damage. Can they end the game? Can Puszek team end the game? I think they can, can't they? They're already going straight forward. Just look at it. They're going for the core here. They have only Arthas against them, and Arthas, even with Syndragosa, is not gonna be enough, is he? He's trying, but he just doesn't run in. Oh, that was cheating. Look at that. Goes for the ancestral healing here. And Puszek team is apparently forcing the 3rd map out of Gamers2. Here comes Leo, but he's a bit too late. They have no damage to deal with this. Great game by Puszek team. The last fight won them the map, and they force the Polish team Gamers2 into game number 3. Well played.
Maybe Gamers2 was a bit too confident there. Puszek team takes the second game, and all of a sudden we are looking at a tie series and go straight into map number 3 once more. And game number 3 is going to happen on Blackheart's Bay. It's a great map for Team Gamers2. They've been showcasing this over and over again. Normally what we see on this map is either Illidan or also, in this case, Abathur banned out against them, since they're just so good with these compositions here. But we're having very interesting builds once more. Puszek team is actually the one trying to go into the double promote this time, with Brightwing and Tacita being used for them. Gamers2 has in this case not only lost Vikings, but also they have Zeratul. And Zeratul, you might have picked up on that already, is getting very, very popular these days. That auto attack build that he uses with focused attack and also then follow through is just so strong. It's so good. And nearly every team is currently running a Zeratul player in their lineup and trying to utilize the hero as much as possible. Blackheart's Bay is of course the map choice of Gamers2, and guys, this game is going to determine which one of the two Polish teams will advance. So we're going to jump into the map right away without further ado to find out who's going to take the best of 3 series here.
Alright boys, game number 3 between Gamers2 and Puszek team. I'm not quite sure if Gamers2 was really thinking that would happen here, but well, it did, and it's Blackheart's Bay, their map choice actually. To the left side we have Gamers2, we have Nika on Jaina, ADRD on the Lost Vikings, Shiku on Muradin, Leo from Korea is playing Rhaegar, and we have Rezro, the substitute player for Juve, on Zeratul this time. To the right side of the map, it is Puszek team, another Polish team here of course, and Bo3 is playing Tacita for them. We have Shadowbro and Malfurion, Shubek on Nuburak, Rusov on Brightwing, and Kreku on Khaldor. So what they're trying to do here is not only play a double healer composition, but they're also running this currently with a double promote, one on Tacita and one on Brightwing potentially, together with great pushing heroes like Nuburak. They can do a whole lot of work with that. But of course, Gamers2, they know that on the last game it didn't really work out as they intended. They didn't really clench it out with the 2-0 as they were expecting. So let's see how exactly they're going to run it here. They probably have a bit more respect for their opponents now. This is also, of course, a match not only that brings you the option to go into the finals. No, it's about honor. It's about who is going to be the best team in Poland, who can claim that. And if you look at the successes in the past, it's obviously Gamers2. But Puszek team, they have the option here to make a bit of a dent into the confidence of Gamers2 if they take him out here now. Chest spawning, bot lane, we have the Vikings against Tacita, and there it is, most of the coins, all of the coins at the top lane, ending up in the hands of Gamers2, and they also take down a Nuburak. Down to the bot lane, we're having ADRD just soaking with one of the Vikings now. What's the rest of them doing? They're actually going to try and turn in already the coins that they just got at the chest at the bot lane. So yeah, ADRD playing Vikings, I like it. I don't know if I've actually seen him playing Vikings too often, but that's pretty fun. I kinda like that. So he's doing really well with this. Currently level 1 talents, no big surprises here, nothing really that is too fancy. But yeah, this is good fun already. I mean, at this point we're currently having the top lane, of course, dominated a bit. There's currently a 4 versus 4 heroes, just like trying to fight over those 2 lanes and make sure that they get experience. Whereas at the bot lane, ADRD is doing a decent job with his Viking, but he has to be very careful against the storm that we have from Tacita. Good old Tacita is running very low in mana on the other hand, so that's a bit of a problem. The Conjurer's Pursuit that he picked at level 1 just didn't give him enough mana regeneration just yet. He will have to wait a bit longer. It's one of those talents that you see most of the time on Blackheart. On Tacita, you have of course also the infusion that you can go for on level 1, which a lot of Tacita players will use on other maps, but because of those small pirate camps that you have here, there's so many more globes that you can harvest on Blackheart's Bay than on any other map, that most players will choose Conjurer's Pursuit over other mana options if they have the choice, just because it's so good to get that in. We're seeing now also, oh wow, Rhaegar is actually, this is actually cool. I like that because, well, this is a build that a few players have been talking about. Look at that Rhaegar build. Double shield. And a few people might be thinking like, okay, what exactly is that? What is that? What kind of a bad build? It's actually a really smart build. They've been talking about the level 1 turret, right? Like, Healing Ward not as good anymore, was a must-take in the past, but now Blizzard nerfed it again, and a lot of players just say, okay, Healing Ward is not all that great. Look at the level 1 talent. If you go for the shield right now, the next 3 basic attacks are increased in damage of the target. What the patch brought with it was a change in the focused attack, and now with focused attack and follow through doing a lot of damage, most of the Zeratul players are going for exactly that. Focused attack on level 4, and on level 7 then follow through. And that's the right-click build that we're having on Zeratul. Wow, kill at the bot lane thanks to Zeratul and Lost Vikings, by the way. So this bad boy suddenly hits for a ton of damage with his right clicks. Now if you use that shield on Rhaegar for him, then you do even more with the next 3 basic attacks. So once that they go into the fight together, there is going to be an insane amount of damage thanks to that lightning shield on Zeratul. So that's one of the reasons why this is being picked now. Then on level 4 you would either go for Farsight or you can see Feral Heart, which of course gives Rhaegar mana and also hit point regeneration back while in wolf form. Then you can't do damage. We're having, in this case now, so the lightning shield duration does not start until an enemy is nearby. So that's also a pretty smart talent if you want to combo that off with the first one. So it's basically that combo potential between these 2 talents that we have, and then on level 7 you go for Earth Shield, which gives you of course that shield that you would normally get anyways. So it's a bit of a different build that really caters towards that melee assassin that Zeratul is. I guess that was actually like a bit long of explanation there, but I really hope that you guys have a bit of an idea now what's going on with that, because this is one of those things that is quite cool to see, that there's a shift in the meta, even if it's just such a subtle one. The Rhaegar builds have been starting to just get a bit better. So currently over here, Rezro and Leo from Korea are starting to get into position with that. We have Ibrahim, Kreku, Shadowbro and Chubek with their 4-man lane still. It's basically even experience here. It was just like turn-ins that teams were able to get so far, and that was actually Gamers2 that got that. They just got a little one. So let's see how exactly that's gonna work out for them. I mean, right now at the top lane we still have Jaina soaking experience, whereas the rest of the team is currently still here and doing their thing. Down to the mid lane, let's see what exactly we are gonna see there. So right now this is starting to become actually quite interesting, since we're having the Vikings once again trying to deliver and get the experience in there. But the problem is that they are currently being hunted, and there comes once again Zalstan, and 5 coins end up in the hands of the Puszek team. So let's see, up to the top lane, what do we see there? We have actually Rezro, we have Nika and Leo from Korea moving in. They're trying to get another kill in here and moving straight for that. So we currently see in terms of kills 2 against 0.5. That kill against the Viking was the only one that they got so far. So over here, yeah, Rutsuf is already in position. ADRD is moving back on his Vikings, just soaking experience as much as he can. As Rezro, they're trying to get another kill, jumping in, get that stun in, and yes, here comes the lightning shield. And they get the kill in there. So Zeratul was able to walk with the lightning shield all the way down to the bot lane, thanks to the level 4 talent that we're having here on Rhaegar. And that is exactly what they are currently trying to just run, giving that extra burst of damage to Zeratul so that he can use that in these fights, and that was very well done here. Looking at Zeratul's damage, this is really early in the game still though. We have already 4,000, which is solid, not as much as the Vikings were able to provide, but just watch that Zeratul boy going over the distance. He is going to deliver a lot of that. Currently looking at the level 10 talents, we have of course Ancestral Healing being used here. We have up at the top lane, there's Kreko and Rusov, they're still trying to get the experience in there as well. Besides all of that, we had a lot of kills already for Gamers2, they've been doing well with this, but they have not been in a position just yet where they got far ahead in experience, Gamers2 that is. So we have still level 11 versus level 11. And we have now for both of the teams the heroic ability there, with an Archon, of course, on the side of Tassadar. By the way, we have only 1 promote taken. Brightwing decided to go into the protective shield over promote, so a bit of an adjustment with the build. Also an adjustment on 2 other heroes. We have on level 1 Regeneration Master taken for Nuburak over the potential Beetle build, which would have done a bit more damage. And also we have on level 7 Mule taken in this case. And with Mule on level 7 you can of course just heal up these structures again. It's a great talent to take on a map like Blackheart Spay. So yeah, nice adjustments here. I really love this. Like, there's these subtle things that the teams are currently doing to try and get a bit ahead of that, and I'm really liking that. So currently down here, well, Shadowbro is being attacked once again. Leo from Korea is there. Rezro and Shiku, they are all rotating as 5 right now. Level 12 versus level 12 in just a second. And they have also that camp that is going to help them out a bit. Look at IDRD. He's soaking experience at the top lane and in the mid lane. Needs to be very careful though against these 2 heroes, especially of course against Khaldor. If he gets his hands on one of the Vikings, it's going to be down in seconds. Well, down here we are once again them starting to move in. Level 13, nearly hitting there. And yeah, they are trying to get that level, and there it is with Burning Rage on Muradin. There's Sprint on Jaina. Doesn't need to go into nice block against this. They're having Wormhole, of course. Feral Lunge even taken now for Rhaegar to get the extra damage in. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how much damage at the end of the day is going to be done by Zeratul here. This is going to be pretty cool to see. So Shubek, Kreku, Shadowbro and Umarim are starting to move on to the map again to get more coins to the right side, taking the pirate camps down. So of course great for all the talents that need regeneration globes. Their kill against Brightwing, yeah, they get it. From every angle Brightwing was taken down there. Well done. And of course for Puszek team it's important to soak level 13 now. They are starting to fall behind. I mean, right now they're really starting to fall behind. Maybe this engagement over here and the shadow of the fort could help them, but no, and Ubarak is being taken down right away, and Muradin is jumping in once again, trying to get the next kill. He had nice ancestral healing. I don't think it was even needed, but they killed Tassadar and they also took down Khaldor. Really good kills from Gamers2. They definitely turned it up a notch here, bringing their A game currently against Puszek team, taking these guys very, very serious because, well, game number 2 didn't really end the way that they were hoping for. So, well, right now, as you can see, we have also chests taking again, 15 versus 13. It's a 2-level lead that has been established by Gamers2, and they are going straight for the boss up at the top lane. We have, in terms of damage, now Zeratul starting to get farther ahead. You can already see that he's nearly at 9,000 damage there. So that really works. Like, this entire focus on the shield build that we're seeing from Rhaegar is really starting to do some work there. And the more damage Zeratul gets in, the better, of course, for him. It's also noteworthy, I feel, that a lot of Zeratul players will not even go for Regeneration Master, but will pick up Seasoned Marksman. It's actually not uncommon to see this with a right-click build. Level 1 is the talent where Zeratul has a ton of options with this build. Can go into the reduction on blink, you can go into block, you can go into Regeneration Master. Like, all of these talents are completely viable if you play that build. And that is what Rezro, well, he wants to have the extra heal, and that is kind of nice because you give up first aid on level 7 if you go up for follow through. It's the trade that you have there. And if you have Regeneration Master, at least you are in a position where you get some hit points back, so you're not all that helpless in these situations. So I kind of like that adjustment that he makes, but there are definitely players out there who will play a bit more of a greedy game. So currently there is also Numbing Blast taken, Norse Force of course for the Vikings, Stone Form for Muradin, I mean that's not a surprise, great talent for him to take, Double Bombs on Zeratul. These builds are still the same. There's 3 builds right now for Zeratul. The standard Gathering Power build, where you go for Cleave, then the build that you're currently seeing in the game here, and there's also a Warpole Blades and Searing Attack right-click build that is being used a lot by Alternate Fancy. Not exclusively though, they are switching between the 2 of them, and then also they go, for example, on level 16 for Berserk, just to show you another adjustment there. With the other builds, it's very common to still go for Wormhole on level 13, and then on 16 going straight for, yeah, of course, the double bombs. The 16 talent is there, as mentioned. On 13 we have now a Flamethrower taken. Keep that burst in power on Khaldor in mind. That happens at level 16, but of course that needs to be a pretty big one if they want to win this one here. Currently ADRD using his jump to make sure that he's not being attacked by that Flame Strike. Over there, down to the bot lane, Shiku is trying to get locked down against the Nuburak, moving in again already. And here comes the rest of the team. 12 coins on Zeratul. They should maybe turn those in. Like, I would be, as a Zeratul player, very reluctant to go in like that. There's the Lightning Shield got activated now, and they're trying to jump in with that, and it's another one. Currently, Leo seems to be in cooldown for that, not dropping that just yet. Great position, of course, to use their Phoenix, zoning them out as much as they can, and this is basically the time when you say, alright, we're gonna go back, we're gonna turn in, and no, they're not. Well, now they actually do. Okay, so they're starting to go back, turn in. They have a full turn in, of course. They have 22 coins already. The top lane, by the way, is being pushed by that camp that was taken earlier by Puszek team. And now there's the turn in. And this turn in is going to attack the mid lane again, of course. And that will drop the keep. This is going to be keep number 1 that is being eliminated here by the turn in. And Shiku is already blocking for the rest of the team. There's the completed turn in. They can move back, so easy peasy right now for them. Pretty difficult spot for Puszek team to be in. They have to be careful. I mean, right now there's still soaking going on through the Vikings, ADRD. Even 12-13 minutes in is still keeping his Vikings on different lanes to soak. They don't want to engage into too many battles. He's just making sure that he gets even farther ahead with his team, and that puts them nearly 2 levels ahead of their opponent. So Leo is already rotating over with the rest of them. They're taking more camps, more coins, another potential turn-in. Bot lane, that is where we are currently seeing an entire move towards that wall, and that's experience that we see there. It's 16 versus 16. Like, there's Criterize, we have now Hardened Focus, Second Strike. This is really where Puszek team could maybe fight. If they win a fight here, they can come back, but it's not going to be easy. There, where is that Flame Strike? There comes the Phoenix already. Not in the best spot though, not really helping them out, and Void Prism set up the kill against Rezo. Whoa, Zeratul is out, but they get the counter kill against Kelthas. Both of the damage dealers are already gone, and once again we're having an Ubera going straight for the stun, whereas ARD in the backline is trying to use his longbow for the damage, getting that in. One more storm and a second one as well. Oh, here comes the jump by Shiku. He stuns out one of the targets, and they're trying to go straight for Nubarak. Burrow striking away here. Nice stun against the Vikings and against the rest of the team of Gamers2, but they're trying to retreat here. It's a full retreat. Here comes the Ancestral leading against Shiku. He gets another double storm bolt in and goes straight for the Buck. The Buck is already down, and Malfurion barely getting away, even using in this case his Ice Block, but they got 2 kills for 1, and that was of course exactly what they needed here. More map control for them, claiming even more chests that just spawn on the map. A horrible timing that we're currently seeing for that to happen. And in this case, it's also the additional coins that we have thanks to the camps that were taken at the right side. So very, very well done here. Up to the top now. Eric all alone is going for that. Wow. That was actually quite fun. So they're going to take this one. And they have another potential turn in there. It's 11 in total that they're still running, and we have now the team moving towards the left side. Maybe even they are not even going for it. Apparently they just want to turn in the coins that Nika had after he got that. Let's look at the top lane. Are they going to get the keep? Not quite. Not quite, but the more important part is that they are soon going to get level 20, and with level 20 I don't really know what they're going to do here, but level 20 is definitely going to be a big problem for them. That's for Puszek team, of course, because once they have level 20, then Gamers2 is just going to be so strong. There's already that rewind. We're having, actually in this case, Vorpal Blades, sorry, Nexus Blades are sometimes pretty good. We have Rewind though, which is nice if you want to have that extra blink and if you also get the rest of your spells in. But it can be pretty nice if you're running the Nexus Blade, just because you slow your target down and also you have that 20% extra damage, which is always cool. There's also Ragnarok and Roll now and Hardened Shield for Muradin. So very great talents, and with that they just move to the top lane. They are not even afraid of showing themselves there. They're just saying like, okay, we are 2 levels ahead. Well, apparently they moved back, at least for now, to push that lane. Get those coins. They have 9... Wow, actually they still have 9 coins. Oh, look at that. They could easily go up to 20. And the keep fell after all. So I misjudged that barrage a bit. I thought there were more structures alive. So the keep is gone, and that means 2 of the keeps are already eliminated. And there's only 1 left. And the keep at the bot lane... Well, I guess there's still like 2 towers, but it looks like those 2 siege giants are going to take care of one of them. Yep, that tower is gone. Second one is going to be saved. Brightwing needs to jump up in here, and they're trying to fight again. They're moving in. Nice root against Shiku. Good stun to follow that up. Yeah, that Flame Strike hurts now with Ignite, doesn't it? Level 16 is where Kelthas definitely gets stronger, and he's currently trying to showcase that. Talking a little bit about the damage, let's have a quick look at that. Kelthas currently at 26,000. Not really impressive yet, but he's getting there. Good kill against Balog, but here comes the Dwarf, and Kelthas is being focused, barely gets away. Everybody is in the bubble. You get a bubble, you get a bubble, everybody gets a bubble. And, well, after Zeratul is done playing Oprah, he still goes in to do the damage, do the deed, and he gets kill after kill there together with the rest of the team. After they squish the Nubarak, they go for Kelthas. They are taking Malfurion next, and Tassadar is not going to make it either, especially after that stun that we just saw from Muradin. Well played here. GG already called, and Gamers2 once again just showcasing that they are the top dogs in Poland. They win the game. Congratulations. The best of 3 series is theirs. A 2-1 for Gamers2 against Puszek team here in the semi-final of the GO4Heroes Monthly Final. Really well played, and therefore we will see them again later today in the final series.
Gamers2 win Blackheart's Bay. They take the map, they take the series. Puszek team with a very, very strong effort today. Very well played here, but Gamers2 is just still a bit too strong. But it's really nice to see this Polish rivalry unfold in front of us, and I'm pretty sure that Puszek team is going to stick around and will definitely play a couple more matches in the future against Gamers2. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed the games in the commentary. If you did, you know the drill. Give the video a thumbs up on YouTube, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet, and if there are any questions left, just post them in the comment section. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I'm going to see you next time with more Heroes of the Storm content. Have a great day. Bye-bye.